Daleside Old Legover.
Life is too short to be drinking shitty beer.
Welcome to another edition of Bands, Bikes and Booze Reviews. I've got another one from the People's Republic of Yorkshire, and it's the Daleside Old Legover. Now, I've just tried their Monkey Wrench Strong Ale, and to be honest, that was a massive disappointment for me. It really did talk a good fight. The flavours were there, they just weren't big, and that, I don't know, that really sort of let me down. And I pulled this out of the fridge thinking, shall I or shan't I? So it's one of them ones where you just don't know what you're going to get with this. After trying the other stuff, I just thought, they did really talk a good fight. And this stuff, again, is another one of them beers that, you know, it just talks a good fight, but I'm really wary of it. Now, they've classed this as a brown ale. It really doesn't say anything on the front as to what it is. It says right grand Yorkshire beer. Now that could mean anything, couldn't it? And it just says beers of distinction. Well, I'll tell you something, that Monkey Wrench really didn't distinguish itself at all. Now, brown ale is a real favourite of mine. I do like it, especially the brown ales that you get from Samuel Smith, you know, from the Tadcaster Brewery. Their nut brown ale is probably one of the best ales, or brown ales, that I've tasted. Newcastle Brown I will not touch. I've gone into that before on other videos where I've reviewed brown ale. I'm not going to review it because it's just going to be a rant. Because basically it's shit. And I don't care who knows that, because it is. This stuff, I'm a bit, you know, there's a bit of trepidation there because I really didn't want to try this, but it was in the fridge. I've got a load of other beer in the fridge from Beers of Europe, and it's all the Christmas beer stuff, and I want to sort of try that in December. This one's going to be a bit of a pig in a poke, do you know what I mean? Quick bit about the brewery. They've been going since the mid-80s. They're actually quite popular in Yorkshire. You just don't see this stuff down here at all. I had to get this from the Drinkswell online bottle shop, and I got a few from there, a few from Yorkshire, and to be honest, a lot of them were quite disappointing. And I don't know whether that's me just picking the wrong beers, but I tried the Naylor stuff, the Naylor Old Ale. That wasn't good at all. And as I say, the Daleside Monkey Wrench really didn't impress me either. So I really don't know what to expect from here. So I'm expecting the worst and hoping for the best. So let's see what this beer has got to offer. It's 500ml, it's 4.1%. It doesn't really give a description of what the beer is, i.e. the style of the beer. On the back it says, Daleside Old Legover upholds the very high standards of English brewing, a well-balanced mid-brown Yorkshire beer, making a complex mix of malt and hops to give nutty and late bitter sweet taste. Well, who knows? Who knows? It says to serve at 12 degrees or cooler if preferred. This is about, I'm no expert, but it's chilled, just come out of the fridge. It's been sat here, the room's quite warm. This has been sat here for about sort of 20 minutes. It's cooled down a bit, I can see the condensation, so this should be the right temperature. So let's get this into the glass. Right, the cap is just plain brass colour. There you go. Let's get some of it into the glass. Now there is a distinct difference between Yorkshire brown ale and Newcastle, or when I say Newcastle brown ale, that is a style that is distinct to Tyne and Wear. Newcastle brown ale seem to have got the monopoly on that, but there is others to choose from. What we're getting on the nose? Well, straight away I can see the head retention is better than the last lot. Again, not a lot in the aroma stakes, and it was the same with the other lot as well, the Monkey Wrench. Vague caramel malt, some earthiness, but I mean, let me get some more in it, eh? Really hoping it's not going to be. Wow, there's nothing there. When I say nothing, I mean hardly anything. That's disappointing. Again. Oh dear, I think this is going to be like the last lot. Very clear, dark chestnut colour. One finger whitehead. There's just nothing there. Aroma wise, there is nothing there at all. Oh God. Oh well, let's get it down my fat Gregory. You good elf. Well, that's even worse than the last lot. Nah. There's vague bitterness on the arse end. This nutty flavour they're talking about, not getting that. Vague caramel, that's all I'm getting. No, this is really poor. In its favour, it's quite easy drinking. There's no nasties in there. That is, again, another characteristic of the Monkey Wrench stuff. But where there's no nasties, there's also no real flavour either. And that's really disappointing. On the website, they really did talk a good fight. And as I always say, even if there wasn't any aromas there, that's always an alarm bell if there isn't. But I've been proved wrong in the past. But there's just nothing there. There's nothing to make it moreish. There's no caramel malt, no toffee malt that's really standing out on this. It's just bland. And it's a shame because the body's there, the carbonation is just right. I am getting vague caramel and toffee on the finish, a slightly bitter finish, but it's very subdued. I don't know whether it's me, my personal taste, but I like big flavours, and I can see how people would just, knock this back and not think twice about it. It's probably nice on cask. It's a very easy drinking beer, I will say that, but it just lacks flavour. It's the beige of beer, if you know what I mean. I'm sat here trying to look for the positives, and I'm really struggling, which is a shame. I love these sort of breweries that are doing this style of beer. I like the traditional brewers who want to keep the old British styles going. But I don't know, Daleside, I think you really need to up your game. You really need to get them flavours going, because it's just lacking. So what's the verdict on Old Legover? Well, I had really high hopes for this as well, and when I bought it, as I say, it really did. The tasting notes really did sound appealing to me, and like the monkey wrench, when I drank that, it really just didn't deliver at all. There's no real big flavours on this. There's nothing in this beer at all that would make me want to order it again. And I'm left here thinking, not that I've been ripped off, but these flavours that people talk about, these flavours that are put forward by the brewer, I'm just not getting them. And I really did try. I really did look for the positives, but the alarm bells were there from the off, with the lack of aroma, and just there is a little bit of flavour there. There is some toffee malt on the finish. There's a little bit of hop bitterness, but you've got to dig deep to get that, and it's just not working for me, to be honest. I'm going to have to give this. I'm going to have to give it a 4 out of 10, and I'm being a bit generous there. Don't get me wrong, and the 4 marks it's getting is because there's no real nastiness in there. It's okay. I'll probably finish that and completely forget about it, because it's that sort of beer. Do you know what I mean? And you know, there's beers that I've tried before, completely off the wall beers, or from off the wall breweries that I've never heard of, and they've been outstanding. They've knocked me for 6, and after that I've pursued their beers and genuinely not been disappointed. There may be the odd one that sort of lacks flavour, but usually they're good. But Daleside, I've just tried 2 of theirs on the trot, and they just lack flavour. It's like they're scared to get the flavour in there. It's a shame, really. But let's get a 4 out of 10. And I'm not going to recommend it, and I'm not going to buy it again, unfortunately. And remember, I'm drinking this shit, so you don't have to.